Come on over, guys. Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing great. Grab yourselves a drink. Today we are going to be talking about some news that is hitting the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes holo tables. There's plenty to discuss, so I hope you're ready. Let's have a sip of that beautiful vintage from the Admirals. What do you call them? Vineyards, Shores of Corellia, wine. Awesome. Alright, let me try and just recompose myself here while we get into video mode. Okay. Welcome back to Celestiam Base. Come on over, let's get into it and have a look what we're going to be looking at today. It is the kit reveal for a character that I am actually looking quite forward to. Maul. The new Maul character who will be coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes via the Conquest game mode. So we know straight off the bat that this character is basically going to be the Commander Ahsoka Tano to, the Galactic Legend Master Kenobi, such as Maul will be that for the new Galactic Legend Lord Vader. So we're expecting now, and I haven't read this kit yet, right? So this is going to be the first time I'm reading through it. What I'm at least expecting is, there's been some testing videos out there and stuff like that now that have looked at, Commander Ahsoka Tano pretty much geared up all the way, and she's destroying in a lot of different places, especially under that Master Kenobi lead. It's just so effective, and so especially giving the requirements that they're asking for out of us to be able to get into the Lord Vader event. I'm really expecting something special out of this next Galactic Legend and this next companion character, Maul. Now, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I actually discussed some of the initial concerns that I had about this Maul character coming to the holotables, having this Mandalorian tag attached to him under here, and you can catch that video over in the corner here. I'll paste the tag if you want to go and check that out, and basically I just discussed the lore around this. Long story short, I am now okay with it. And the most exciting thing about it, potentially, is the revivification, I guess we could say, of the Mandalorian Beskar armor. Now, for those of you who don't know, there is, this is a fairly high tier kind of, at least one of the later characters that has been released in the Journey Guide in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and really doesn't have that much efficacy inside of the game just yet. Now, Maul could be something that gives that extra something that the Mandalorian needs, and we're going to discover whether that's going to be the case today as we read through his kit. So without further ado, let's get stuck into it. Hi, Holo Table Heroes. Maul Rats Unite. The death of Mirian, who became a Sith apprentice. Let me get a little bit closer here. I'm struggling to read this. Who became a Sith apprentice turned ruler of Mandalore turned crime syndicate leader is coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Although he's lost the title of Darth, Maul is still a force to be reckoned with, as chronicled in the dev insights below. The basics. Unsurprisingly, Maul is a powerful attacker. True damage output is his primary means of dealing damage. This is because true damage ignores defense, which makes him effective against tanks. Okay, cool. So, most of his damage comes from his special ability, Seething Rage, which has 0 cooldown. Interesting. But there's a cost. Maul cannot use this ability unless he has Anguish, and you'll probably want to wait until he has 5 stacks of it. Okay. Maul has the Mandalorian faction tag, a nod to his time as ruler of Mandalore. Unique attributes. Maul's kit includes the all-new debuff Anguish, which makes Maul take damage at the start of the turn. However, and quite thematically, when Maul takes damage, it is converted to offense for that turn. This is very cool. This speaks very much to how the dark side works for the Sith. There is that, very impressive, powerful abilities that come with the dark side, but they always come with a cost, and that cost isn't always completely evident, right? Sometimes it's a little bit under the surface, not like for old mate Darth Sidious. Now, inspiration: Maul's aggressive attacker status is inspired by the destruction and havoc he wreaks on his foes after Ahsoka, needing a distraction, frees Maul from captivity. This was a cool scene. That in the Clone Wars Season 7, Ahsoka is, Order 66 is just released by Darth Sidious. Ahsoka needs to escape the Galactic Republic vessel that she is on because she is being hunted by clones who want to kill her because she is a Jedi, and she releases Maul in order to wreak havoc throughout the ship and create a distraction which she will need to be able to make it to a shuttle and escape with... Who was she with? I believe it might be Rex that she escaped with. I did not watch this that long ago and I've already forgotten. I'm such a spacehead. Okay. Maul's basic animation is inspired by the moves he showed off against Ahsoka during their epic battle in the throne room. Awesome. One thing we know about Maul for sure is that he hates Kenobi. This hatred is manifested in his kit, as Maul's kit is the first to have a call out to another specific unit. At the start of battle, Maul gains 3 stacks of Anguish unless there is an enemy Kenobi, as in any Kenobi unit in Galaxy of Heroes, in which case Maul gains the maximum stacks of Anguish. Okay, cool. So I love that. This version of Maul will not have the Sith tag, as he has been divested of the Darth title at this point and has turned his focus to putting together a crime syndicate. Strategy tips: as mentioned above, Maul and Lord Vader are useful squad mates, as Lord Vader adds to Maul's health pool and Maul helps Lord Vader defeat enemy tanks more quickly. Also, Lord Vader reaches his ultimate ability more quickly with Maul by his side. Reading into this further suggests Maul benefits from having high max health. Lord Vader will increase Maul's overall health, and it seems like the two will make a good pairing when placed in the same squad. You'll be tempted to use Seething Rage early on, given there is no cooldown. However, it is also smart to build up the max stacks of Anguish and use all of them consecutively. Another fun tactic related to Anguish centers around trying to time Maul's special Fervent Rush to defeat enemies, as it will reload his stacks of Anguish to be unloaded on enemies during his next turn. Yeah, okay, cool. So, a lot to be excited about here, but I was kind of expecting... Oh, this is a developer insight, not a kit. I lied to you guys straight off the top of this video. I'm so sorry. Developer insight. Now, I'm wondering if there is kit available for him, but if not, we won't stress out. In the meantime, let's just talk about it. So, I'm excited for this character, one, because of the accessibility, first of all. Anyone can... Well, not anyone. Conquest is still fairly difficult to complete, and if you want to get those later crates, which are going to have the greater amount of shards for this character in them, then you definitely need to have some highly geared characters to be able to move you through those conquest battles. However, as I've said from very early on in this channel, and if you guys are following my advice, you are taking a couple of squads at a time maximum, even better, one squad at a time, up as high as you can, all the way up to nice decent relic levels. based off of where that squad is going to sit in the overall big picture of your roster. So hopefully everyone's going to be able to get a good crack at Conquest. Now, that being said, you also need to make a GP minimum to be able to unlock the hard Conquest mode, which is obviously going to have far greater rewards than that of the normal Conquest mode. So I would highly recommend, straight off the bat, for those of you who are interested in unlocking this character, to, one, make sure you've got a couple of effective squads for Conquest that are going to be nice and highly geared, and also that if you need to break that GP barrier in order to unlock that hard mode, I would again suggest highly that you go ahead and do that so that you can start working on this character as soon as possible. I would certainly like to. I would like to think that my next Galactic Legend I'm going to start working on is Lord Vader. However, if you guys want to come over here for a second to the game, we're going to have a look at Lord Vader's requirements, as all of them have now finally been released. I wanted to bring them all to you just in one video rather than do a separate video for every little batch of requirements that would be released, because I know that really a lot of you probably aren't even thinking about this character at all. Let's pause for a sip. However, if you do have one of those more veteran accounts or are a spender, then you may be thinking about this character in the near future. And so now you can think about them in a strategized way, because we have all of the requirements released and there is some stuff to talk about here. So in the first batch of requirements, we have Hunter, Tech, Wrecker, and Tusken Raider, all required at Relic 5. Now, I'm totally okay with these requirements. Tusken Raider, that's annoying because, again, trash character who you would never relic if you didn't have to, but that's only one trash character out of many here, out of all of the characters in this first lot of requirements here, because the Bad Batch have proven to be a very, very effective squad, very useful for use with Master Kenobi if you are someone lucky enough to have him unlocked at this point in time. And even as a squad on their own, and with the recent release of Omega, who just brings even more attack power to that squad, they finally now have 5 members. So Hunter, Tech, Wrecker, Echo, Wrecker, Echo, and Omega, making up now a full squad. So I'm 100% okay with needing these. I'm not sure that it makes much sense at all contributing to being Lord Vader lore-wise. Like Anakin only had a very brief interaction with these guys, helping them, leading the mission to recover Echo from the Separatists at the start of Season 7 there. But, in terms of his overall journey to the dark side, not really a great contribution at all. Moving on, we can go down here to our second batch of requirements here, and we have Embo at Relic 5. Again, I don't hate this because Embo's actually quite a good bounty hunter. If you've probably already got bounty hunters like Bosk quite highly geared. I've recently geared the Mandalorian myself and Aura Singh and stuff like that, and Embo certainly is not a bad addition to 1 or 2 of your bounty hunter squads that you may be working on at this point in time. On that train as well, we also have Zam Weasel, who was the bounty hunter who was promptly taken out at the start of episode 2 by Jango Fett, who hired her to attempt to kill Her Highness. However, were thwarted by Anakin and Kenobi. So Zam is going to be needed at Relic 7. You have probably averted your eyes to this Count Dooku at Relic 8 requirement. Now, Count Dooku isn't a character that I ever would have considered for Relic 8 without having needed him for, a requirement for a character such as this. But again, certainly not the worst character they could have picked. I also highly agree with this lore-wise because his execution of Count Dooku, again, at the beginning of episode 3, was definitely a significant contribution to Anakin's eventual fall to the dark side later on in that movie. So, happy with that. Then we have both echoes from the 501st and from the Bad Batch. Echo from the 501st is going to be required at Relic 7. This is probably not going to be a big blow to many people's rosters, as if you are already running a gas or a Shuck T squad with the 501st underneath them, you are going to have these clones highly relicked. Anyway, all of mine on my main account are at Relic 5, so another 2 relic levels to get Echo up from the 501st is not going to be a big thing to do. Echo from the Bad Batch up to Relic 5, which gives you your 4 main characters from the Bad Batch. And again, all of these requirements here in this section I'm completely okay with. The Relic 8 hurts, but that's alright. And then we will head down to the most recently announced set of requirements here, which have as yet not shown up in the journey guide. However, we do have them in the forums over here. And here we go. BTLB Y-Wing Starfighter at 7 stars. Now, again, totally fine with this. It's not a huge grind to get this ship up. It is only available, I believe, at this point in time on hard nodes on either the light or the dark side, so you're going to be needing that normal energy. Be hitting the refreshes on that if you're like me and you only have that ship at like 3 or 4 stars and you need to get it all the way up to 7. Going to require Grand Moff Tarkin at Relic 7. Lore-wise, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because, you know, Tarkin is post Vader's fall, I believe. You know, there's no real showing of him in the fall of, you know, Jedi Anakin into Darth Vader, so, you know, that's a bit whatever for me. Plus, he's not a great character in the game either at Relic 7. That's a bit of a hit. Arc Trooper at Relic 8. And then, as we have known from the start of Lord Vader's announced, we are going to need General Skywalker also at Relic 8. Newt Gunray at Relic 7. Now, I agree with Newt Gunray again that, you know, one of the first missions that Darth Vader was sent on after he was, you know, eventually succumbed to the dark side and pledged himself to Sidious was to go and finally end the war with the Separatists by killing their leadership, Newt Gunray, amongst them, and we finally saw after 3 episodes that slimy bastard die. And yeah, that again is just going to be a really sort of lore prominent reason for you know, including him as a requirement here. However, Relic 7's a hit. That's super high. Arc Trooper, not a bad character. I'd rather not take them up to Relic 8. I would have preferred to take, you know, 5s or Rex up to Relic 8 if we were going to be picking a 501st, you know, clone trooper to take up to Relic 8. But, you know, again, that's a bit of a bummer, but we can deal with it. So, at this point in time, we have General Skywalker at Relic 8, Arc Trooper at Relic 8, Count Dooku at Relic 8. Let me flick back over to the game here quickly, because I believe I'm missing somebody. Oh my god, we've missed Padme Amidala here at Relic 8. So that's 4 Relic 8 characters that you are going to require in order to meet the prerequisites to unlock the event, to be able to start grinding out Galactic Legend Lord Vader. So this is most definitely the steepest requirements we have so far for unlocking a Galactic Legend, which is going to mean that for a lot of players, this could be quite far off. Now, I say that, the key word there being could, because at the same time that we had the big post by the developers that announced the coming of Lord Vader to Galaxy of Heroes, they also told us that they would be releasing Relic 9. Now, I definitely was not a fan of this news. I think that it's way too soon to be bringing Relic 9 into the game, because Relic 8 is still so exclusive behind the most difficult raid in the game, and the, far ends of hard mode conquest, which you certainly need to be, a very high level player in order to be farming the equipment that you're going to be needing in order to make your characters Relic 8, in order to get those Relic 8 pieces. So, unless once Relic 9 comes along, they release some of that exclusivity associated with those Relic 8 pieces, and they make them more available in other game modes, like, for example, in the Galactic Challenges, for example. Maybe they might put, 1 or 2 pieces of those key Relic 8 materials in the red crates in the Galactic Challenges, which come fairly frequently to the game. So I think that would be a massive help, especially for a player like me who has been playing since the start of the game's release, has one of those large veteran accounts. I've only got one Galactic Legend. This is, probably going to be the best Galactic Legend for me in terms of a character that I really enjoy. Being 30 years old, I sort of grew up as a kid that could really appreciate Star Wars at that age when, episode 1, 2, and 3 were being released in the movies. And so I'm really, really attached to this era, the prequels kind of era. And I certainly want to get Lord Vader. However, I'm not in a guild, unfortunately, that is able to complete C Rancor. And so that's a big, big problem for me in order to be able to start working towards these requirements. I can certainly start working on a lot of the other ones in the interim, but unless there is some loosening of the reins on those Relic 8 pieces, it's probably going to be many, many years before I ever see this guy added to my own roster. So much so, in fact, that it could be worth diverting my attention to a different Galactic Legend in the interim, which is some conversations that I'm going to have with myself late at night as I can't sleep. No more on that for now. But what do you guys think? Let me bring you on over here. I think that is enough for us for today. Take a sip if you haven't for a period. Lots to think about there. I'm certainly very excited about Maul coming to the tables. That's a character that I'll be going hard for. As we've seen with Ahsoka, she's a viable character without her associated Galactic Legend Master Kenobi in your roster as well. She's perfectly fine under a Padme leadership. She definitely injects some new life into that squad. And plenty of other Galactic Republic sort of squads that she has that synergy with and stuff. I think that the same will be true of Maul. As soon as his kit does become available for us to look at, we'll certainly bring another video to you guys and we'll take a look at those specific details and get some more information about where Maul might fit into the grand scheme of the game and what squads he might work really well with. I'm hoping he is going to work really well under a Mandalorian Beskar armor squad, either with Maul in the lead or with him in the lead. I don't know, it doesn't really matter to me, but I am sort of chasing that Mandalorian Beskar armor character. I will have him within a couple of weeks' time on my main account, and I'm hoping that he's going to be useful for me because I love that character. I love the Mandalorian series, and I'm excited about his character. But if it's a trash character, that sucks. He's never going to get any use. So hopefully Maul will bring that efficacy back to his character. Even though then, again, lore-wise, I'm always a stickler for the lore. There's no real sense being made there, but, I'm okay with it. They're two great characters in and of themselves, and I'd be happy to whack them in a squad. So, Let me know your thoughts on all of this news down below in the comments. If you did like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd be able to show that, support the channel, hit that like button. If you do want to see more content from me in the future, then please also subscribe. I hope you guys are loving the new Celestiam base look and these videos. Your feedback is always appreciated if you want to throw it at me. And until next time, peace out. I'll see you in the next video.